Hey. All right. Okay. First of all, happy Sunday. This is our weekly recap of the Braxtons. As always, guys, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. And also, don't forget to let me know where you are watching from and how you would rate this week's episode of the Braxtons. I didn't do a poll on YouTube, but let me know in the live chat. And for those that are watching the replay of this, be sure to let me know how you would rate episode 5 of the Braxtons, which you can watch on WeTV. They're not sponsoring, but they should. I'm just letting you guys know because you always ask, oh, where can I watch this show? I am still going to get into that damn Hulu Salt Lake City version of Housewives that everyone has been talking about over the last few days. Just a lot's been unfolding from that, but I wanted to make sure that we got through the things that we normally get through, Love and Marriage Huntsville and the Braxtons. So today I want to talk about the Braxtons, and then you guys will have an opportunity if you're a YouTube member to call in and share your thoughts on the Braxtons. But if you're part of our live chat on YouTube, keep making sure that you like the video so that you can get an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts on the Braxtons and how all of this has been playing out. All right, let's get into this.
Here we go now.
Hercules. Oh, sorry. Happy Sunday, guys. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Since we're talking about the Braxtons, be sure to check out all of the videos I did this past week on Tamar Braxton and her 61 days of marriage to Bang Yang Yang Man. Just in case you missed it. Just saying. But I am going to keep an open mind, and I have to say, after watching this week's episode of the Braxtons, I still felt for Tamar. I maybe that just makes me emotionally mature. I can separate what's playing out on social media with Tamar and what we watch on the show, because I still felt for her, and I don't understand why the family would not tell her that Tracy is dying. I get it, maybe because Trina said, you know, they had something going on, they weren't in the best place. Okay, but you know that she has a limited time here on Earth, and I know they wanted to respect Tracy's wishes. Tracy said she wanted to be the one to tell her, but Tamar literally had 2 weeks. But I don't know if they ever said. I watched it twice. I don't know if they ever said how long the family knew Tracy was dying before she passed away. But literally, we do know that Tamar only had 2 weeks with Tracy. Okay, we'll get back to that. So as you know, last week's episode, if you missed any of our recaps of the first 4 episodes, be sure to check that out. Last week ended with Tawanda breaking the fourth wall and calling the showrunner OG to come down and confirm, like, why in the hell would you want Kevin Sr. to have a platform on our platform? All right. She then says, you don't want me to tell the real truth. I was like, honestly, I do want you to tell the real truth at this point. Anyone else? Because right now, you guys are looking like the villains, even though you're trying to make Kevin Sr. look like the villain. And I know. Kevin Sr. has not been the best to Tracy. And maybe he cheated, okay? Maybe multiple times. However, Tracy still rode hard for that man. She still rode hard for that man. And I'm not even just saying, oh, because they stayed married. No, she rode hard for it. When the sisters and everyone was alienating her, it was her and Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr. So on some level, she had a deep love and connection with that man for whatever reason. So what exactly does Tawanda and them know? Because none of y'all had really great relationships, if we're going to be honest. If we're going to be honest, none of you guys had great relationships with any of your husbands. But okay. And if anything, when you look back on it, Tracy was the only one to stay with her husband. Not to say just staying means that everything was good. But if anything, it looked like they had a deep union. Okay, fine. Fine, look. Everyone is going to have their opinion. This is mine. So Tawanda says, you don't want me to tell the real story. You don't want me to tell the real truth. Actually, I do. I do. Tawanda then says that in Tracy's will, which has now been exposed, we have not gone through it. I don't want to go through it. I feel icky about that. Everyone keeps talking about respect Tracy's wishes. I don't know if Tracy would have wished that you guys knew what was in her will and what she owned and what she didn't. I get it. However, what I do know, based off the will being exposed, it didn't exactly say she didn't want a funeral. That's the part. She didn't want her sorority to do anything for her. But in the will, it did mention Kevin Jr. and Kevin Sr. handling, like what she would wear and that kind of thing. So a funeral was mentioned in the will. But y'all didn't know that information would get out because y'all wanted to run with the narrative that Kevin Sr. went against everything. Honestly, I wish Kevin Sr. would come out and talk about the will because he has every right to do so. Us exposing the will, I know it's public knowledge, it just feels icky. Icky. However, look. So Tawanda says in the will it says that Tracy didn't want a funeral. Okay. Come to find out, that's not exactly what the will said. Okay? And she says this platform isn't for anyone that doesn't respect Tracy's wishes. Well, according to Miss Evelyn on episode 1, one of Tracy's dying wishes were for you sisters to get along. That's not respecting her wishes. Just saying. Come on now. Okay. So she said this platform is, look, I cringe now because, I really have been giving the sisters grace. And I still continue to give them grace because they're dealing with losing a sister. Okay? However, it's feeling like you're using Tracy for this sort of return of the Braxtons. Remember that episode? Or not the episode, it was like during the pandemic. Tracy showed up for work. I got hair in my mouth. Tracy showed up for work, but the sisters had decided they weren't going to show up for work, but they ended up showing up. Tracy ended up showing up for work. She was like, come on now. There was that disconnection. The sisters they were trying to do like a united front, but Tracy was left out of that. It's my own mustache going in my mouth. Look. Anyways, so it feels like, for me, based on what I'm seeing, because when I first started watching the episode, it didn't feel like, I was like, oh, this is you heard me. Go back and watch the tape, rewind the tape. I said, this is a love letter to Tracy. Oh, no, it's not. Especially if you're going to try and make Tracy's husband, her widower, there we go, the man that loved her for how many years, look like the villain. You think Tracy would want that? Do you think that Tracy would want you guys to support Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr. not getting along and being in a better place? Do you think that she would want that? Just saying. I don't think so. And I think that's part of what is so cringeworthy to me is that I feel like I get it. you didn't like what Kevin Jr. did in regards to a celebration of Tracy's life. And I literally, shout out to you guys that have been linking me back. Because I remember when it first happened, when they first live streamed that memorial service, that celebration of Tracy's life, 3 hours long. It was actually really beautiful. It wasn't a funeral. It wasn't a funeral. However, based off the will, if they wanted to do a funeral, they could have done one. Okay. Someone in the chat says she left that man nothing. Well, if you saw the will, that's not true either. But we said that before the will was even exposed. We said that before the will was even exposed, that Tracy left her son as the executor. That does not mean Tracy left nothing to her husband. Anyways, sidebar. I have to remind you guys as well, this ain't your family. Because some of you are in people's mentions and people's DMs that are connected to this show, and y'all doing a little too much. A little too much. It's one thing to come on your own platform or you come here and you share your opinion, but it's another thing when you guys take your own family traumas and toxicity to the people that are going through a loss and making your trauma their trauma. That y'all need to check that. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Wynn says, no, she would not. Tracy loved her husband, and she always said her husband was bad with money. Look. And that's why sometimes you find the partner that you find, because then you're good with money. Sometimes that's how it is. Who knows? And even if Kevin Sr. was great with money, he was a great husband, I could still see a mother making her child the executor of her estate and not necessarily her husband. Because sometimes, depending on the situation and the person, that person believes, yeah, that person can't handle this. Maybe financially, maybe emotionally, to make certain decisions. And maybe she wanted to use this opportunity for Kevin Jr. to grow a pair. Literally, that's what Miss Evelyn said. Her version was that in regards to Kevin Jr. versus Kevin Sr., that this would have him grow a pair. I don't know if that's what Tracy said. I think in what I can translate from this, because this is, they're biased in their analysis of the situation, I think that she wanted to put this on Kevin Jr. so that he would grow up, so that he would become a man, not to fight with his father. But that's just my assessment. I'm not in all those conversations, but I have to watch the show with a filter, because part of me is sort of like, now on episode 5, I'm like, oh, you're not going to allow Kevin Sr. to have his side? So that says to me that you want to manipulate the audience to believe what you want to believe and not give us the actual truth. And that's fine. But now I know when I'm watching the show, I need to watch it with a filter. Be like, oh, okay, so that's your version of the truth. I wonder what Kevin Sr. would say. Okay? So Tawanda gets very enraged, because it goes from talking about Tracy and not wanting a funeral and Kevin Sr. to everyone said that we left our sister. We didn't leave our sister. And I saw she went on social media talking about this too. She's like, back in the 90s, which is true. It was a very sexist society. Women could not be pregnant and be an artist. She explains all of that in the scene. She's like, back in the 90s, mind you, rewind time. They showed the clip. When they showed Tracy's name, they put under it the wannabe. Who signed off on that? All of you guys were executive producers. Who signed off on that? And look, I'm not one of those people that have blamed the sisters for leaving Tracy. I understand the business of music. At the end of the day, they were young girls, young women that wanted a record deal. And one sister was pregnant at the time, and the record label was like, that's not going to work. So I personally never blamed the sisters for what the music business does. But some people still blame the sisters for leaving Tracy behind. But here's the thing. Literally in episode 5 of the Braxtons, Tracy also was hurt by the sisters. She also felt like you guys left her behind in some shape or form. Just saying. They literally showed the clip. Shout out to the producers. She also felt a way about what went down and how she was treated, not just by the record label, but by her sisters. Is that realistic? Mother says, I'm right. It came out of her mouth. And I'm so glad that, look, the producers were being slick by adding that. I love it, though. Kat says, no, I disagree. His opinion isn't relevant, and it never was. Yes, it is. You can't say that Tracy's husband, who she married and spent 30-something years of her life with, doesn't have a valid point in sharing his opinion on a show when you, the family, are trying to villainize him on this show. If they didn't talk about him at all, I'd be like, all right, fine. They're trying to villainize this man on the show. And maybe he is the villain. But by you refusing to have him be on the show, it's starting to say a little bit more about you guys than it does with Kevin Sr. All right. And I'm not going to call Kevin Jr. scratchy. And shout out to the content creator or someone that found it, and they linked me to it on Twitter. Shout out to you. Yes, she called him scratchy years ago on Braxton Family Values. Whoop-de-doo. He is a grown man at this point. Why are we still... It feels awkward because if she did call him one time scratchy back in the day, she wasn't consistently calling him scratchy. Now, all of a sudden, in this new era of the Braxtons, that's all she refers to him as is scratchy. So much so, Vaughn, her own children are like, who the hell is scratchy? Just saying. The receipts were receipting, and I reposted it on my Twitter, okay? Shout out to Twitter. I reposted it because I have no problem, even though I'm a Taurus, I have no problem saying, I never said that it was impossible, but I questioned it. But the receipts were receipting. She did refer to Kevin Jr. as scratchy years ago. But he's a grown man. Let's stop calling him scratchy. Girl. Jamie on TikTok says, Tracy always back Kevin Sr. Hey, Layla from France. Where's everyone watching from? If you're just joining us, we're talking about the Braxtons' latest episode. Right? Elle says, the scratchy feels forced. Right? Like, I have to pay attention to how intuitively I feel when she says it. And that's why every week I'm like, that's weird. Elle says, the scratchy feels forced. It's cringy. Even when she was calling him in her Tesla, she was just like, call scratchy. And then she was like, ooh. I was like, and I don't question that the sisters have love for Kevin Jr. Some of the stuff feels just a little weird to me. But she did call him that. I like to present the record. She did refer to him that years ago on Braxton Family Values. Once. Once. All right. Hey, Dr. Tia. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about episode 5 of the Braxtons. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let me know your thoughts on the Braxtons. And look, I understand not all of us will agree. And I get why we wouldn't agree. Because all of us view death, family, aspects of someone's passing and their last wishes differently. But I told you guys last week, I'm going to say it again this week. A funeral is not for the dead. It is for those that are still living. And yes, people should try and respect the wishes of the person that has passed. However, based off the will, she never said no funeral. She said she didn't want her sorority to do something. Just saying. All right. Amsterdam's in the house. Oh, I haven't been to Amsterdam in a year. Ooh, I usually go like at least once a year. Shout out to my folks in the Netherlands. All right. What else happened in this first scene? Like, I haven't moved on from the first scene. Tawanda went off, though. She was so angry. And she wanted OG, the showrunner, to confirm that we would not see Kevin Sr. Because they know, okay, they try to get him on. Are they going to try and get him on again? But I don't know how that conversation went from Tracy not wanting a funeral to them talking about the wannabe comments and leaving their sister. It came out of Tracy's own mouth, though. So the producers weren't slick. They did that for a reason. They were just like, well, Tracy said it herself. Just saying. All right. So we get the scene with Tamar and Nye. Remember Nye? This is Candace's producer. We've seen him on Real Housewives of Potomac. So he also was friends and worked with Tracy when she was alive. So Nye is recalling his moments of Tracy and how Tracy was so protective of Tamar and knew that they were going to be working together. And he's just like, do right by my sister. So she was very protective of her sister. So, of course, Tamar gets really emotional. I don't know. Here's the thing, though. I feel a little, I get it. This Braxton is not, the Braxton's new series is not just about Tracy. I just get a little cringy when we're trying to promote this new album, this new music. Every scene for Tamar is about, oh, my new music. Oh, I'm so happy my song just did really well. Okay, let me just call a thing a thing. Let me just call a thing a thing. What did the song do? The song went #1 on the R&B charts on iTunes. I mean, it's celebrate, yay! Enough of that. But where else did it go? Did it even chart on the R&B charts on Billboard? Because I always compare what Tamar did with Love and War, which did numbers. And really, I was like, oh, wait, Tamar's going to have a career. And I was a fan of Tamar, like her first album, If You Don't Wanna Love Me, Don't... I love that song. It's one of my favorite Tamar songs. And I loved her Love and War album. Shout out to LaShawn Daniels. May he rest in peace. However, why are we acting like this song did numbers? I'm just like, wait. I'm sure some of you were like, what song was this? When did this song come out? Okay. Hey, Mr. Melody Magic. This picture always gets me with Michael Darby. Look, Auntie Eva says, I never heard the new song. And this is months ago this happened. Just saying, like, I get it. She wants to be celebratory. They really, really want to make this, or at least her storyline, be about, she's working on this album. She's writing this book. Okay, fine. All right. But Bang Yang Yang Man said that it's cap, that your tour was sold out. Remember that? When we were talking about Tommy Lee and Tamar and Bang Yang Yang Man? He said it was cap. So every time I see her talk about the tour, I was like, the tour did well. Don't get me wrong. But she was saying, like, it was sold out and things like that. Fine. Sidebar, sold out doesn't necessarily mean that all the tickets have been sold. It just means a good majority of the house has been sold. So there's a certain point of like, oh, if it sells this amount, that's considered sold out. As someone that has toured, okay? However, my sold out was truly sold out. Anyways, Tamar has been getting it these last couple of weeks for her singing live situation. Okay, let me tell a story. So for those that don't know, Tamar blocked me on Twitter years ago. And it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I was talking on Kempire Radio, which was on its own website, and we were talking minding our business. We had interns handling Twitter, just letting people know we're live, blah, blah, blah. So my intern at the time tagged Tamar in our conversation about her opening for John Legend. I think it was at, who was it? No, it wasn't Radio City. One of those, it was the Beacon Theater. And I was like, ooh, Tamar wasn't that great live. This was years ago. This was like her first, tour and things like that for Love and War. And I was giving my honest opinion. I've been honest since the day I started, okay? And I was like, she wasn't that great. I was surprised because I was actually looking forward to it because I do think that Tamar can sing. But maybe she's just not someone, you got to be on that Beyonce regimen in order to be able to sing live. So the intern tagged Tamar in my comments about her not sounding that great. And Tamar was trying to do a back and forth on social media. All right. Auntie Eva says the intern was fired. No, I didn't fire the intern. I should have. No, I didn't, because I felt like Tamar took it too far. I was giving my honest opinion about what she sounded like during the show, and she did not sound great. Only fast forward, how many years later? We're in 2024. That probably was that was over 10 years ago. In 2024, and still not sounding great live. I still think she can sing, but not everyone's a great live performer. All right. Let's see. M. Smith says a lot of artists aren't great live, but I can name you quite a few that are amazing live. Tamia, Kelly Price, Deborah Cox, Fantasia, Beyonce, obviously, Brandy. Who else? Look, I've seen quite a few amazing live singers. Toni Braxton. Nasra says she can sing, but these live performances, yikes. Yeah, look, in singing live, I give her credit. She's definitely singing live. Sometimes, some days you sound better than others, you know? So, all right, moving on. How do we get into the Tamar of it all? Oh, she's in the studio. So she FaceTimes with Vince. And I have to say, y'all. Oh, yes. Raquel says Shantae Moore is excellent live. She's amazing live. Okay, I'm so damn shady. But let's be honest. Would I go to a Shantae Moore show? Maybe if I was given tickets for free. And only reason why I say that because there's maybe like 2 or 3 songs, if that I like of Shantae Moore. Just saying. I think she's an amazing talent. I think she can definitely sing. But if I'm going to a concert, I want to be able to go and know the songs. And I'm like, what songs am I singing? Like, Shantae's got a man at home. Just saying. And mind you, when she sings that song, I'm leaving. Anyways, Shantae can sing too. Okay, whatever. She can definitely sing down. All right. So Tamar FaceTimes with Vince. You know, Vince, her ex-husband. And as I'm watching them on FaceTime, I was like, they got a little chemistry. I never really looked at their relationship like that. I don't remember. You know, it's so long ago. But I like the fact that they're getting along. And, you know, Vince is very known in the business. Tamar talks about how Robin Thicke says, you know, there's not a lot of people that I respect their opinion when it comes to the music. And Vince, your husband, is one. They still refer to him as her husband. They were together a long time. Oh, yeah, Vivian Green is excellent live. I've seen her quite a few times live. So I'm watching them interact via FaceTime because she's like, did you check my story? You're always checking my story. Because she was promoting that, you know, the song, you know, was doing well. He's like, you know, look at you doing things independently. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I got a vibe, y'all. I don't know if I want them to get back together, but I like the fact that they're getting along. But part of me is like, I mean, Vince is going through his own drama. I don't know if he's fixed his own money issues, but he was doing, you know, he's very well known in the business behind the scenes. He used to manage Toni Braxton at one point as well. He's behind Lady Gaga and so many other amazing talents. And behind Tamar. Tamar's rollout was something that fell under his leadership, his management, and his record company. So, yeah. So I noticed some chemistry and I was like, I don't necessarily want them to get back together, but I was like, wait a minute. Tamar, you better get that old thing back. I mean, look, there have been accusations. Remember what Miss Evelyn said. Tamar hasn't really confirmed that I can recall, but she is writing a book. So someone read the book and then relay back what she says about her relationship with Vince. But I like the fact that they're getting along, which they need to. They have a son that they're raising, and we love Logan. Logan is hilarious. Okay? Anyway. Kai says he did not put hands on Tamar. Miss Evelyn insinuated something like that. I don't believe Tamar ever confirmed that. But maybe she'll talk about it in her book. Aries says that it's called good parenting. Good. But it wasn't, remember, this FaceTime between Tamar and Vince had nothing to do with Logan. It had to do with just them as friends. I love that. Anne says, I saw Gaga live in London. Gaga's probably amazing live. Now that's a stellar live performer. All right. Now, it says Miss Evelyn can't be trusted. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm going to leave it to Tamar to confirm that. Okay. All right. Vince is married. Vince is married to who? Did he get remarried? To a blonde woman? All right. All right. Moving on. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We will be dropping the call and link for members first. Become a member today at TeamKempire.com/join. And don't forget, our friends over at Rose Forever have been sponsoring the channel. Our last couple of live experiences here on YouTube. Head on over to Rose Forever, or no, actually head on over to the description for our referral link so that you can get a little something for yourself. Roses that will last you at least a year. They have all kinds of assortments, all kinds of great deals going on. It's the end of summer. I know some people are moving into dorms. Some people are just moving into new places, new homes. Maybe you just purchased a new home. Roses are a great gift, especially roses that will last. More information on Rose Forever will be available in the description. Shout out to our King's Guards in the live chat. We appreciate them. And shout out to our channel members as well, and our subscribers. We haven't forgotten about you subscribers. We appreciate you guys being still subscribed here on the channel. And shout out to some of our new subscribers as well. All right. Oh, okay. Daniel says he's not married. I feel like we would have known that story. He's not married. He has a girlfriend. Is she blonde? Look, not even she's blonde. She's white. Because remember, if you know, you know. Just asking. Anyways, let's move on. So Tamar's working on her album. We get to hear her sing. Fine. She sounded great. Family dinner. So Tamar, let me see. Tamar was there. Tawanda was there. Trina was there. And Miss Evelyn was there. Tony FaceTimed them from France. And some of you have feelings about Tony traveling to Europe but not being able to travel to go see Kevin Jr. in Maryland. First of all, we all know that Tony has health issues, okay? Not only does she have health issues, she has, she has lupus, she has the heart stuff. And the reason why she's traveling, it's for work. Anytime you see her travel, it's for work. Please leave Tony Braxton alone, okay? We are blessed that she is still here fighting and performing for us. She can't be flying, all the germs and things like that. Did you guys notice the Oprah shade? When she said au revoir and they said, you said Oprah? But remember Tony Braxton and Oprah? I forgot where it was that Tony was like, she was mean to me. I think it was her behind the music. Because you remember when Tony was on Oprah? Damn, we're going back. Remember when Tony was on Oprah? Oprah was like making, I forgot what kind of dishes. You guys will remember. Because Tony, Tony's had some financial issues. And she filed for bankruptcy twice. Well, the second time was because of her health issues in the Las Vegas show not being covered by her insurance. So Oprah made fun. Well, not made fun, but she was just sort of like, you have, Gucci silverware. Look, you have Gucci silverware. Even I don't have Gucci silverware. So, Tony felt a way about that, and I get it. Oprah, people have been going back on some of the things that Oprah has said to people on her show. But I think she was giving Tony tough love at the time. And I know it didn't seem that way, but it felt like, girl, I think she wanted Tony to do better for herself. She's like, even I don't have Gucci flatware. Why did all of a sudden she sound, what did that sound like? That was a different accent. That wasn't Oprah. Gucci plates. I mean, I don't have Gucci plates. I didn't know Gucci made plates. What's the point of getting Gucci plates? I guess. I think the Hermes plates are beautiful, right? Anne says, Oprah was not wrong. However, it should have been done privately. Well, no, she was on there on an interview. And one of the biggest headlines was that Tony Braxton filed for bankruptcy. So I think as a good interviewer, you're asking those questions. Maybe she could have left out the whole part of, even I don't have Gucci plates. And at the time, Oprah wasn't even a billionaire yet. Elizabeth says, and that's why Oprah is still a billionaire. Yeah, and what is Toni Braxton's net worth? And look, even her net worth is not going to give you what she really has in the bank. Johnny says, paper plates work for me. You know what? No, that's not good for the environment. Okay. Anyways, Yes, I do remember that, and I've always taken that lesson. That girl B says Oprah also told her to stop letting people sign for her name. Oprah says, I sign my own checks. I can't imagine having someone else sign off on checks for me. Nuh-uh, I don't trust nobody. You make sure I get my check. That's what I need. Oh, right. Eb Smith says better stick with Lennox. I think Lennox is what, mid luxury. Lennox is not completely cheap. Some stuff can be cheap, like some of their ornaments and stuff like that. But even I think Lennox is high end. Lennox is my Gucci. Come on. Lennox is my. Where are we going, guys? Anyways, I thought that Oprah shade was interesting. Okay, let's focus on the scene. So, at one point, Tawanda says that Kevin Sr. believes that Tracy wasn't in her right mind when she did her will. Because now, again, the conversation. You notice how Tamar was quiet? Did anyone pay attention to her body language? I was trying to kind of gauge like how she felt about the whole Kevin Sr. of it all. And Tawanda was just going off, and she was just saying, you know, he's alluding that Tracy was in her right mind. And that's what Miss Evelyn says. She was definitely in her right mind. And that's when she says that Tracy wanted to put Kevin Jr. in that position because Miss Evelyn was concerned about, you know, Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr.'s relationship if Tracy did this. And she's like, well, maybe this will give him some balls. Kevin Jr. I don't know. I don't trust any of them in regards to what Tracy may have said in her last days, to be honest with you. All right. What else is said? Okay. Tamar. I was like, wait, Tamar gets really emotional talking about Tracy. And again, here we have another scene about Tamar talking about her music. And then now she's associating it with Tracy, and she felt like Tracy showed up for her, and she said, you know, Tracy would always do something like that. Again, we're talking about the song. They break the fourth wall. OG brings flowers. The showrunner brings flowers for Tamar. I really don't care. Like, fine. Like we're not even talking. Like, what? Okay, fine. It's fine. Look, it's fine. Anyway, so they decide that they're going to throw some sort of crab broil for Tracy's birthday, her second heavenly birthday. So we're going to do something like that. All right. Can I say something? Because we're about to talk about this celebration of Tracy's life. What's the difference between what the sisters are doing with this show, what they're doing with this celebration of Tracy's birthday? How is this different than what Kevin Sr. did in his memorial of Tracy? Because it was a memorial. Actually, it was a celebration, a 3-hour celebration. She wasn't there. There were just beautiful pictures. Kevin Jr. was there. Wasn't Tracy's brother there? And wasn't Mr. Braxton there as well? The only people that weren't there were the sisters and Miss Evelyn. Okay. So as I'm watching, I had that random thought, and I said to myself, I was like, how is this different? How is doing this show and every episode is about Tracy, and even footage of Tracy in her last days is being shown on this show. They didn't do that at the celebration of her life. They didn't show footage of her being sickly. So if Tracy did not want to be seen or mourned or cried over in this way, how would she feel about an entire show, episode after episode, talking about her suffering and all of this other stuff? Like, when you put that into perspective, how is that honoring Tracy's wishes? I'm confused. Because he did it. Yes, he made it available online because she had a lot of fans that wanted to celebrate her life as well. However, you're putting it on a huge network for millions of people to see, and you're getting paid for it. And look, I already said I feel a little uncomfortable with the fact that now we know that Kevin Jr. is in control of, because y'all made it known this way last week when y'all met with the family attorney, that he's in control of her name and her likeness. So you need Kevin Jr. in order to share this footage and to talk about Tracy in this way. You need his cosign so that the fans won't turn on you. Anuli says, Kempire, I swear I saw Sutton. Not Sutton in downtown BK. She probably was. It's Fashion Week here in New York. She probably is here. Hey, Sutton, you want to hang out? No, I really don't. No. I'm just saying, now that I'm really unpacking all of this, how everyone accused Kevin Sr. of putting this online and selling tickets, which wasn't true, and celebrating his wife of 30-something years. Putting it online. Everyone dogged him out and said he didn't want to honor her wishes. But when we look at this, they are doing an entire show showing footage of her in her last days. How is that honoring what she wanted? It's not. It's not. Damn. Look. Look. This is how you know it's authentic, because I gave the Sisters Grace in episodes 1, 2, 3. But now I'm on episode 5, and I'm like, you do not want to give Kevin Sr. an opportunity to speak his side. You felt like he went against her wishes by having this celebration of her life and putting it online. But now you're doing an entire show. And people will be like, oh, Tracy would want us to come back and do the show. She loved doing the show. Yeah. When she was on it. Anyways, I just feel like if there's more to Tawanda, because Tawanda says there's more truth that she could tell, but she's not going to say it. No, say it so that we can understand and we can have a full perspective. All right. I'm screaming. I'm sorry. All right, moving on. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. How many people got in here? Happy Sunday, y'all. Don't forget to like the video. And shout out to those of you that are watching on TikTok, those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter. We appreciate you guys. And, of course, those of you watching on Facebook. All right. I agree. Sharjay says, I don't believe that Tracy would be happy about the way that they're treating her husband and exploiting her son. I agree with that. Because no matter how you feel about Kevin Sr. and what he may or may not have done to Tracy during their marriage, she still loved that man. She still rode hard with that man. And we've said that these last few weeks as well. Mr. Melon Magic says, I just feel like they're using Tracy and that doesn't sit right with me. That's how it's starting to feel. Well, Miss Curiosity says, honoring her life, but there's still no foundation for cancer in her name. Well, not everyone does that in honoring someone's life, but okay. Anyways, let's move on because I still have a lot more to go to. But if you are a member of the channel, I am going to drop the call link for you guys on the community tab here on YouTube. Shout out to those of you that are watching on Twitter. I didn't even see all my comments on Twitter. You know, some of you guys are hilarious in the chat on Twitter. Let me see what you guys say. I'm sorry, Twitter. I missed some of your comments. Sim on Twitter says, Sim Guru says, hey, Kempire, child, they need to end the show. It's been a mess. Trying to tell the story now that Tracy's gone seems a bit off. They're trying to gaslight Tamar. Her and Tracy are more alike than many realize. That's one of the things that Tamar says in this episode. Like, they're really bonded with each other in her last days. B says on Twitter, the Braxtons' biggest problem is the public reading of the will. It proved the Braxtons to be liars. They aren't addressing that in real time on their personal pages. I mean, I'm surprised that Kevin Sr. I mean, maybe he has. Maybe he has said it in regards to. I'm surprised he hasn't debunked that's a lie. That's not what was said in her will. I don't know if there's another will, but that seems pretty up to date. Oh wait, were they Versace? Were they Versace? Everyone's saying Gucci. Were they Versace plates that Tony had? Come on. It was some high end. It was either Versace or Gucci. Anyways, all right. Ooh. B says that the Braxtons exposed themselves without even realizing. The best friend was there 24 hours. Denise, we see in this at the crab boil. She said Tracy said to not call her sisters as to bother them. However, first episode they said they rotated out with and was with Tracy all the time. Stories aren't matching. Honestly, I don't necessarily believe 100% of the sisters, especially now that we are unpacking and learning more and more. And the hypocrisy of it all. All right. Guys, if you're watching the replay of this, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share your thoughts on the latest episode of The Braxtons. I decided the last minute, we did our recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville earlier today, but I decided last minute to do this recap today because I want to catch up on some of these other shows, and maybe we'll go live again tomorrow. So make sure you're subscribed and make sure your notifications are on here on the channel. All right, let me see what else I wanted to say about this. So they had that family dinner. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I'm going to quickly breeze over this. Trina goes axe throwing with her sons. So Trina's biggest issue is that she wants her son, Eric, to have a baby. She wants to have the experience of being a grandmother. But she also wants him to have the experience of being a father. But he doesn't want to. He's not interested. I don't know if he never wants to, but he's not interested. But here's the part that stood out to me. Vaughn saying to at the end of the day, it's really up to the woman. However, there are ways for you to ensure on your side that the decision, that you have a part in the decision. I cringed at the way he worded this. Because I was sort of like, okay, yes, he has every right, your body, your choice, to go get a vasectomy. I just cringed that, Vaughn, you're not their daddy. And this is just a weird conversation to have with someone. Like, that's a conversation for Eric to have with his wife. Like, why are you talking about him getting a vasectomy? Like, it almost sounded as if he's like, you should go get a vasectomy without even telling his wife. He didn't say that, but I just got that vibe. I got that vibe. And vasectomies are reversible, but there is a small chance that maybe it won't happen. But I'm like, I think you're overstepping. Anyone else? I felt like he was overstepping. It felt a little weird. So later, we have another scene with Trina and Vaughn, and Vaughn tells Trina what she advised him. And she's like, you told my son to have a vasectomy? And he's like, yeah, because he doesn't want to have children. And he says, if you don't see, this is the part that kind of looking at Vaughn with the side eye. But I've been looking at him at the side eye since, a couple of episodes ago. And that live recap that he and Trina did, like that relationship, ooh, okay, girl, fine. Anyways, so he says, if you don't want the woman to have 100% of the power, then you should have a vasectomy. It was his wording behind it. It was just like, wait, 100% of the power? Like, sir, what are you saying? What are you saying? It felt cringy to me. K-Baby says that definitely overstepping, especially knowing how much Trina wants to have grandkids. And I get it. She wants to have grandkids. But at the end of the day, it's not up to her. It's up to her son. And if he doesn't want to have kids, he should not be pressured into having children. I would want to know what his wife wants. But apparently she's still on, she's still on the same page as him, I guess. But it just felt weird. It felt very weird for him to be encouraging. Again, it wasn't the fact that he was saying like, you know what? Look, if you don't want to have kids, this is one of the ways that you can prevent that from happening. It felt a little misogynistic, just the way he said it. The way he said, if you don't want her to have 100% of the decision, I was like, what are we saying here? I don't know. I don't know how to articulate it, guys. It just felt off to me. But there's something about him that is off. But that's just me. Mimi says Trina overstepped as well. He may just not want kids, or they have difficulty. Very true. I felt like she was overstepping, but that's his mama. Bond is not his father. Mimi says that it's very personal, and the sons are naturally quiet, but seem super reserved and withdrawn. B Loves Curve says that he's very blunt and direct. I think you can be blunt, but it's all about the way of saying things. Look. Anuli says that something's off with Trina. Is it her maturity level? We talked about that last week, Anuli. You missed it. I literally said that last week about Trina. Like, she couldn't even say sperm count. She was like, you're SC. Girl, you're talking to grown adults. Your sons are not babies. You're SC. And they're like, what's that? Okay, Jamaki says, yes, it was off the way he phrased it. Yeah, it was giving controlling. It was giving weird, but that's just me. It could be just me. Look, it could be just me. I'm fine with that. All right, moving on. Tawanda calls Kevin Jr. while she's in her car, or Scratchy, she was calling him then. Call Scratchy. And she says, I want to fly you in to surprise the family for Tracy's, second heavenly birthday. Okay. And I did pay attention that she's like, oh, because I think she knew the audience would be like, you guys are doing a celebration of her life. Like, how is this different than what Kevin Sr. did? She's like, I want to do it small and quaint. It's still something beyond what she wanted, according to y'all. I don't see there's anything wrong with them doing a celebration of Tracy's birthday or her life. I don't see anything wrong with Kevin Sr. doing it either. Because as I said to you guys before, these celebrations of life are not for the people that have passed on. Okay? It's for y'all. So y'all can feel better. Tracy's moved on. She might be back here as someone else now. I believe in reincarnation. Yes. She's moved on. And when you pass away, you let go of your earthly insecurities, your earthly connections in that way. Like, you still love the people here, but you're not sitting on the other side harping or mad about what you were mad about here. Tracy is not mad at her sisters about leaving her behind during the music career. Okay, they denied that they left her behind. She's not mad about that anymore. All of that stuff, even in your last days, your last hours, all that stuff is being released. You're like, I don't care about any of that stuff. None of that stuff is important. So a celebration of life ain't for Tracy. It's for y'all. But okay. Fine. Oh, wait, I forgot to drop the call link for members. Sorry, members. I'm like, where y'all at? All right, hold on. Let me drop the call link for members, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire podcast, where you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes, including the Kempire After Dark New York City live show. So be sure to check that out, featuring the Summer House Martha's Vineyard cast. So if you are a member of the channel, I am dropping the call-in link now for you guys to share your thoughts on the latest episode of the Braxtons. And we just dropped it live chat. How many people we have in the live chat? Let me see. All right, let's get to 300 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for you guys there. If you're part of the replay crew, I know we don't normally go live at this time to recap the Braxtons, but look, got a lot of things to recap this week, so I want to get some of this stuff done. All right, and if you missed it, we did go live talking about the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, so be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. Let me take a sip from my coldest water bottle. Yes, our discount code still works, Kempire10 for 10% off. They don't just have water bottles that keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. They have things for your pets. They have sheets. They have all kinds of things. Head on over to coldest.com and use the discount code Kempire10. Honestly, I've been on like a health kick. Not a health kick, but they say it's bad to drink anything. They say you shouldn't store your water in plastic. They say you shouldn't drink from plastic. So I said, oh, good. I've been drinking my water from my tin can or glass. All of that works. All right. Let me get to this other scene. So Tracy's celebration of life party. Okay, her birthday party. So they have big pictures of Tracy at this party. They invited certain people, including that woman Denise, that was a family friend and was with Tracy 24 hours, upon her death, and was there supporting her. This leads to a conversation where Tamar says that she found out about Tracy's passing or sickness by mistake. She heard her mama very upset, and Trina was like, "Well, it wasn't just you, Tamar. Tony also didn't know." And Tamar was like, "No, she did know," but Miss Evans said, "Well, no, not exactly then. Tony knew later." But Tamar said she felt a way about it. Sidebar: I noticed that at least on my YouTube TV, they show previews of parts of the episode, but they preview it and then they don't show the scene. I don't know if they show it on another like All Black or something like that. They show the full episode, but there are little scenes that they preview, but then they never show. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. She says, why do you think they didn't want Tamar to know? Well, Trina says, well, you and Tracy were not in the best place. And Tamar's like, what are you talking about? We weren't not in the best place. Then they pull Nye over, the producer, to confirm. I'm like, what are we bringing this person over like into this family mess? And I understand he knew Tracy, but still, into this family mess to prove what point? I think regardless, even if you and a family member are not in the best place, if time is limited, why not tell her? Oh, but I guess you guys wanted to respect Tracy's wishes because Tracy said that she wanted to tell Tamar herself. I just feel like if her time is limited, like literally Tamar found out 2 weeks before, and clearly Tamar is feeling a way about that. And I don't blame Tamar for feeling a way about that. Because even in those last couple of weeks, she's like, damn, I kind of wish I had more of this time with her because they saw each other in a different way during that time that they were spending with each other. But Trina says that they were at odds. They were at odds. Kai says the editing sucks. Kai, I'm going to give them grace. I'm thinking maybe some of these scenes that they're previewing is being shown because this is not just on WeTV. It's also on the All Black network. So I'm wondering if they show the full episodes of those scenes that they're showing us that they don't show us here. And I'm like, okay, so you make it seem like that's what's coming up, and then we don't see it. Okay, fine. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rahina. Rahina says, hi, Camp. Miss you live. I've been tuning in through the bushes, but I'm here today. Hi, Rahina. I appreciate you watching from the bushes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Live chat. Once we get to 300 likes, I will drop the call-in link for you guys to call in. But if you are a member of the channel, we have dropped the call-in link behind the scenes on the community tab, so you have access to it there. So if you want to call in and share your thoughts, you can feel free to do so. We already have a couple of people backstage. Right now, we're talking about the last scene of the Braxtons, where the sisters and they surprise Kevin Jr. Coming to this event, and so everyone's just like, "Oh my God, you came!" So they're dancing, they're having a good celebration. Tamar shares her feelings about being the last to know. Okay, wonderful. But literally, as I'm watching this, I was like, how is this different than what Kevin Sr. did? I mean, what Kevin Sr. did was better, to be honest with you. Hold on. Hattie says, Kempire, did you see Denise's face when she was asked the question? Yes, she seemed, I mean, it's an uncomfortable situation when that all came up. It's an uncomfortable situation when all that came up. Elizabeth says, do we forget that Tracy and Tamar almost had a physical fight over Tamar's birthday? Tamar should have called her sister and apologized. When you're sick, you don't want someone who's always sucking the life I mean, I agree with that, but on some level, I feel like someone should have been like, Tamar, this is what's going on, just to give her the opportunity. You know what I mean? So, but do you blame Tamar for feeling away? I can't blame her for feeling away about it. Just saying, like, because here's the thing, people die suddenly all the time, and people do not have that opportunity to say the things that they want to say. As someone that has lost multiple people just out of nowhere, if you had the time, you want to get that time. You know what I mean? And she didn't get that time. So I don't blame Tamar. I don't blame Tamar for feeling a way about it. Ooh, Belisha says, and Denise was Tracy's best friend, so she know why, and Tamar knows why. Elizabeth says that Tamar is extremely overwhelmed to be around. She will keep you sick. I'm glad Tony's staying away. Damn. I mean, look, I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that, but I don't blame Tamar for feeling a way about it. Oh, thank you. Music is Life says the missing scenes are not on the all black channel either. Come on. Look, I was trying to give you Very Sweet TV, but I guess not. Damn. Awkward Letter says that Tamar does center herself in every situation. The last child syndrome. I'm the youngest child, and I don't act like Tamar. Shut up. I don't act like Tamar. Hey, Lisa. First of all, Lisa, I didn't realize you have been a member for 25 months. Thank you. I look forward to your recap every week. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your support. Guys, you can also support the channel just by liking the video. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let me know where you're watching from, how you would rate this week's episode of the Braxtons, and your thoughts on any of the things that I've said and maybe what the callers will say. So we have a few of our members backstage. Shout out to all of our members. If you've been a member for a week, a month, 2 months, a year, some of you, 3 years. I appreciate your monthly support. I know, especially in these times, it's not easy. It's not easy. So I do appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But you can support by liking the video, telling a friend to tell a friend. What I love the most when I see you guys in the wild, in public, you guys will say to me, I got this person to watch your show, or I brought this person and now they're watching your content too. That's how we continue to build. There are millions and billions of people that still have no idea what we do here. Keep spreading the word. You guys are my best promoters. So keep sharing the information. For those that are watching on TikTok, for those that are watching on Twitch, Twitter, and on Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. Make sure you guys are following me on those other platforms as well, and subscribe to the Kempire podcast. Okay. All right. We're going to move into some callers. Let me just put up my disclaimer, because I think I've spoken my piece. I'm still engaged in the show, but like I said, I'm watching the show with a filter, because now I'm looking at the sisters like, y'all are not 100% being truthful here. And you're painting your own particular narrative. But fine. Look, fine. But now when I'm recapping, I'm keeping that in mind. Okay? All right. I did see that Kevin Sr. did do an interview on one of those news networks. Did anyone see it? Did anyone hear what he had to say? And did he ever react to the will being exposed? Look, I have questions. Look, I have questions. And one of the things that I've asked you guys too in my Love and Marriage Huntsville recap is like, who should I interview next? I already know what y'all going to say now. But no, I like not just about this show, but just in general. Because I'm just like, oh, maybe I need to interview a couple of people. And then when I do it, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. All right, let's get to some callers. Let me get to some callers. Oh, live chat, I'm going to drop the call link for you guys. Thank you so much for over 300 likes, but we have almost 800 of you here. So be sure to like the video if you're watching on YouTube. All right. Hey, Rita. Rita says, I'm late because I was watching last season's RHOP recaps. Oh, I love that. I love that you guys go back and watch stuff. I should go back and watch. No, I don't have time. Rita says, I was late because I was watching last season's RHOP recap. So good. Thank you. It's about to start again. It's about to come back again. RHOP. They've already wrapped filming. Am Easy. I'm trying to pronounce the name correctly. She says, "Thank you for the super chat. Tamar has a way of making everything about herself. She gave Vince an appreciation party and gave a photo of her as a gift of appreciation. Hashtag draining." Look, we know. Literally, this week we talked about Tamar like 4 times because of her and Bangy Yang Gang Man. I get it, but I still understand that Tamar feels a way that no one told her. Like she was the last to know about her sister dying. Like I can see her being upset about that. I guess that's me twerking on a fence because I'm like I get why people would not want Tamar there in their last days, but I also understand her being upset. All right. All right. Where's my callers? Okay, hold on. All right, live chat. I've dropped the calling link for you guys to call in. Everyone, please be mindful of what you say. No profanity, no derogatory comments, no mention of people's bodies. Not that you would if this stuff that we're talking about, but you just never know. All right, let me get to some callers. Hold on. We got Wendy backstage. Wendy, what did you want to say about the Braxtons?
Hey, Kempire, how you
I'm
doing?
well. How are you?
I am fine. Oh my gosh, I just pray this is the last episode
Oh,
that
I
we
don't
hear
think it
about
is.
Tracy. I love Tracy. May Tracy rest.
Yeah.
If she is reincarnated, she is somewhere not thinking about them. If she's not thinking about them. So
Like
okay.
she's loving them from a distance, but she's not. All those
Right.
humanly insecurities and fears and angers are no longer there.
Right. And so I'm just like, okay, you didn't beat this dead horse now. Come on, let's go. I want to see what's going on with your life. I really want to see what's going on with Tamar, not this and Tamar, but Tawanda's life because all she's talking about is Tracy, 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 Kevin Sr., Kevin Jr., and I'm tired of it. I really do think that they are kind of using Kevin Jr. and I feel sorry for him because he's at a vulnerable state
Yeah.
and he really wants a mother figure and he's looking
Yeah.
for that with his aunties. And
Mm.
because Kevin does have the rights to her likeness, they're using him to be able to get that, and that's sad.
Mm.
Um Vince was wrong, not Vince, t- Trina's husband. He wrong,
Mm.
whatever his name, Ben, whatever his name is. He was
Vaughn.
wrong for telling Bond. Okay, he was wrong for telling the boys that they need to get a vasectomy. I guess he feels that since I don't know if Gabe was their biological father or
No.
not, but okay, no, okay, but since they grew up with Gabe and knowing that he's no longer with us, that he probably felt Vaughn probably felt like he should step in as a fatherly figure. I can see where they're coming come in, but I don't think he should have said that.
Yeah.
And then just lastly, today is the 11th year since my dad's passing, and
Mm.
I am going to watch the Dallas Cowboys in his honor. That's my way of honoring him because he loves the Cowboys. So,
Oh.
go
I
Cowboys,
hope
and
they
let's
win.
get it, huh?
I hope they win. Who are they playing?
They're going to be playing. I don't know who they're playing, but I know they're playing.
Okay. It's that
But
time
yeah,
of year. Where's Miss
yeah,
Sharon?
I am the baby of the family, and I do not have the youngest child
Me
syndrome. Um,
either.
Tamar is Tamar, and we can't compare anybody, whoever is the youngest child. We cannot compare them to Tamar because Tamar is Tamaring,
Yeah.
and she won't be Tamar without Tamaring. And okay, have a good one.
Thanks, Wendy. Take care. All right, we're gonna bring up Tyler next, guys. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the latest episode of the Braxtons. All right. Let's bring up Tyler next. Hold on, Tyler. What did you want to say about the Braxtons?
Well, unfortunately, I am a younger child, and some things Tamar does I can relate to.
Like what?
Unfortunately, I'm a bit bratty, like feeling like I'm left out of everything, and I vocalize it. But it may be the Sagittarius in me too, because I'm
Oh,
very outspoken. That may be more so that. But one thing I will say that I will give Tamar, right or wrong, she's the only one to me that's being very transparent on this season, like
mm.
her or not. And I'm going to say this, Tawanda is being so fake to me. Nobody knows this name, Scratchy. Have you noticed that every time she says that nobody knows the name, it's like she's being very performative and fake, trying to act like, oh, I avoid drama. Oh, I do. No, girl, you walked away because you were the main one talking mess about it and you knew Trina wasn't going to say much because Trina really wanted to lean over. Well, Tawanda, you're the one who said this and this and this and that. But oh, I'm just gonna walk away. It's something about Tawanda that I don't like with her laminated head. I'm just over it. Okay, I'm sorry. But it just seems as though Tawanda, I'm telling you, if you watch past seasons, Tawanda, it just, to me, she's the a villain to me. Like it's always very performative, and then things have leaked out in the past of her being the one spilling some of Tamar's business. I don't know if you remember years ago when that whole thing about before Miss E said that Vincent was beating Tamar or whatever was supposed to be going on. You remember people were coming to the blog saying Tawanda was the one releasing that type of information, and it does not shock me. Tawanda Tawanda seems low key jealous, but she's highly intelligent, so she plays
She's a
that.
slick one.
Oh,
We remember
huh?
she's a slick one. We remember the fake checks.
Yeah. Yes, and Tawanda needs to admit, to be honest, Tawanda, you were not nice to Tracy at all. You did a lot of underhanded stuff to
But
Tracy.
you remember what
Actually,
she
the
said in
only
this
one
episode? You heard what she said in this
oh,
episode? She's like,
yeah,
I was protecting Tracy all the time. I'm gonna protect
no,
her. I'm
you
gonna
were
continue.
not.
And I was
The
like,
main one that was nice to Tracy, to me, the
Trina.
nicest one was Trina. And Trina is supportive of everyone. But Tawanda, you were horrible. And Tracy and Tamar, they had their, and Tamar threw shade at Tracy. They had their wars. Do not
Mm,
get me wrong. But I've always felt like Tamar or not, she is not my favorite person. I love her vocally. But I feel like she's always shown up authentic on this show, like her or not. And this
maybe too
season,
much.
yes, her and Tracy, to be honest,
Yeah.
were the only two that were very transparent. And this season, I feel like Tamar is trying to get to stuff. If we're going to be here, we need to be open. And they're trying to avoid that. And they're going to make her seem like a problem when she's really like, well, we're here. Let's solve this problem. Let's talk about what's going on. But y'all don't want to do that because it's not going to paint you all in the perfect picture and allow her to be the villain anymore, because some stuff you're wrong about. You were wrong for not telling her. There's no way I would not tell my sibling that another sibling is about to die. I would have told them regardless. Sorry.
Mm, okay.
But that's all.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in.
Uh,
God, I love when you guys call in because you have very strong opinions. All of you. Hold on. Wait. Let me see if I have that story. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Because I remember this story from back in the day. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Oh wait, this is. I don't know if this is the actual. Is this the one? That's not it. Damn. This is a live show, but damn. Okay, no, the stories are keep. Look, there's a couple of stories. Tawanda Braxton accused of stealing her mom's SSI check. Anyways, you Google schmoogle it, okay, guys. I can't do all of this live, but slick one. All right, hey Rasani, we're gonna bring up Rasani next. What's going on, Rasani?
Hey, Kim, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. How are you? I haven't
I
spoken,
know.
but I've been catching up on all the replays and all that. So I'm still here
I appreciate that. How you
in the
doing?
bushes. um, at first, watching is like, oh, it's a tribute to Tracy. Now it feels like you're just using Tracy and you're using her through her son. And I kind of feel like the father, Kevin Sr., feels the same way. And that's why him and the son are at odds. Remember in the Braxton family values, Tracy called Tawanda a snake.
Yep.
And she can't be trusted and all that good stuff. And this is my thing. For Tawanda, your boyfriend, Sean, he can speak of Tracy, but her husband can't?
That part.
How does that make sense? And I kind of feel like, what's her name? Tamar and Tony. I kind of feel like they're not like co-signing what Trina and Tawanda are trying to put out there. That's why they don't really get in the mix of it. That's what it comes off to me. But yeah, Tawanda, I'm sorry, girl. I don't trust you. And even the scratchy thing. Okay, yes, there's a clip. I haven't seen the clip. That's all fine and
It's on my
dandy.
Twitter. I reposted it.
I don't care to see it because
Oh.
nothing against you, Kim. Nothing against you.
Okay.
Because this is my thing with it. I had my daughter before because like all my sisters and my brother, they just had their kids like recently. They're 4. My daughter is 22. She'll be 23 this year. Yeah, she's a Virgo. This month, Virgo.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday when it comes. They know her nickname. They know her nickname for her. Even my 4-year-old niece came to complain to me about her, and she goes, "Oh, Aunt Teresa, your Muffet did so and so and so," and she's 4, and your 18 and 17-year-old kids don't know. They weren't the Braxtons. They've all, even from the Braxton family values, they've always come off to me as if they're not as close as what they're portraying. Even Miss Evelyn coming out saying that, oh, it's since the camera. I don't think they were ever close. I know you don't want to get into the will, but I heard the stories of the will and all that good stuff. If Kevin Sr. and Kevin Jr., knock on wood, passes away, everything deviates to her brother, not even her sisters.
Oh.
And apparently there's a part in the will, because remember their niece died.
Yes.
Michael Sr.'s daughter passed away.
Yeah.
She has a ring for her and her ashes, and she left that to her husband.
Oh.
So the picture that they're trying to paint, I'm not saying I don't know Kevin Sr.'s story. I don't know anything about that, but the picture that they're trying to paint of him as being this villain and he's so horrible and all that good stuff, I don't think it's accurate. I don't think it's wrong. And if you're going to talk about him on the show, at least give him the platform to defend himself as well. Because Tracy was with him.
You're dogging him out. It's not like you're just talking about him.
Yeah, you're dogging him out. And Tracy was with him and he was with her until the end. So whether you liked him or not, she loved him and she sticked with it. So give him that. That's all. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think they're being trashy. And it's not even the Braxtons. It's the Tawanda and Trina show.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, Ms. Rasani.
Thanks for having me. Have a good Sunday, everyone.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
All right. We're going to get our last couple of callers, guys. I see all of you have your strong opinions, per usual, about the latest episode of the Braxtons. If you're a part of the replay crew, let us know your thoughts on anything that we've been talking about, including what the callers have been sharing and on their perspective when it comes to this show, this family, and more. But as always, we do not moderate adults. And thank you to Foxy for reminding me to remind you guys, there are fake Kempire accounts going around on YouTube telling you to call me now or something like that. I don't know what they're telling you to do. They're not me. If I'm in the comment section, I can highlight your comment and give it a heart. And I also have a check mark next to my name. However, I'm also not going to tell you to call me now. I'm never going to do that. Any sort of giveaways or any sort of things that we're doing, I will always announce it live here. So please ignore, please do not fall for it. And if someone calls you and they're asking you all kinds of questions about your financial stuff, say no and hang up. They're trying to get you to record your voice. Anyways, I'm moving on. All right, let's bring up Ashley next. Hold on. Hey, Ashley, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, great. I was nervous. Okay, perfect.
What's going on?
I will be quick because I know how you like. I know it's been a minute, so let me hurry up.
I've been giving everyone their free space today, so feel free.
I know. I was like, oh snap.
Feel free.
I have to say too, like even God, I'm admitted, I'm the baby of the family too. I'm a brat. I like my way. I like my way. I like to get what I want. I'm 12 and 16 years apart from my sisters.
Oh,
so
that's a huge gap.
It's a huge age difference. That's why I'm so used to getting my way. But I also have to note I am very like self-aware. That's the difference. And I have to say, she's a Pisces, so we are super duper sensitive, but yeah, like everything is like magnified by 20 times, maybe even 100 if I'm being honest. So there goes that thing. But I also had to note too, even my mother used to always say, I love you, but I don't have to like you. And that kind of reminds me of like the Braxton, because I don't, to be honest, Tawanda do not like Tamar. You could just see it, the body language, how she looks, but that also doesn't mean that she doesn't love her. So I just, had to like state that there too. It's just some people that you can't be around at for a certain point in time. Like my sister is currently blocked. She'll be unblocked probably in a couple weeks from now. She needed a timeout.
Wait, why is she blocked?
Because she thought one thing about me, don't be throwing things in my face that I don't like, stuff like that. Just because you can't let it out on somebody else, don't take things out on me. So she's in timeout right now. So and she could stay there.
So
and she's a Virgo.
Is she oh yeah. Wait, is she blocked on like socials or blocked by on the phone?
She's blocked on the phone and she's been blocked on social for years. So she always has to be like to my cousin, make sure Ashley sees this. But I'll unblock her on the phone eventually. But she need a timeout because she lost her mind a little bit. So that's
And what's the age difference between you and her?
12. So that's why I say she was used to being a baby, and then I took over. So
when she was 12 years old, you took over.
Yeah, I took over. So sorry, not sorry. That part. But I also wanted to really like quickly talk about I just noticed on Twitter too, it's like a lot of chatter just about like Tamar not knowing. So I do feel for her for not knowing. Like I get it and I get her pain on that aspect. But I also have to note, as someone who, my mother didn't tell us 2 weeks before she passed that she was dying. So and I worked with like death and grief. So I kind of feel like my eye is just a little bit more different. So when I'm looking at it, Tracy was, she was going to die at the end of the day. So I feel as though, and I know other people who've had breast cancer, like, I just feel like they have the right to say, I don't want this person to know. Yeah. Or to be like, I will tell them when I am ready. When death is knocking on your door, I can't judge on how you try to maneuver that situation because I'm not in your shoes. And unfortunately, you are going to die. I have no right to tell you how to maneuver in that space. So where I understand where Tamar is coming from, I also get, I can never really understand what Tracy has gone through. Yeah. And I have absolutely no right to judge that. Like I said, too, even with my mother, we found out that she was dying and then she was gone 2 weeks later. Ooh. So like, I just look at that, like, you know what? I my compassion is with the family, but also like, if Tracy didn't want to tell her, that was her thing. And I also look at like that wasn't anybody's place to tell her anything, not her sisters and not her mother. That fell on Tracy because of what she was going through, and none of them women up there. The only one closest to it may be Tony. Besides all of them up there, nobody really knows what it feels like to have, your mortality knocking on the door and about to be gone. So that is it's a crazy thing to like go through. So like I was saying, I've seen it a lot on Twitter. It's a lot of talk, like a kind of divide. I do see a lot of compassion, but like death and grief is just, it's touchy, it's hurtful. Like it's a lot that goes on with it. And then the people who are left behind are, trying to pick up the pieces even years after. Yeah. So that was all I had to say. I do miss coming in and chatting it up, but the Bravo shows have been lacking. Ooh, Jesus.
I agree, but we're about to start talking about that Hulu show, the
Mormon one.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Oh, I got to get into that. Yes. I'm about to watch that now. You have a good day.
You too, Ashley. Take care. Ashley, unblock your sister. Relatable. All right. Oh, I'm so sorry, Amanda. Hold on. Ooh. Amanda says, I lost my mom August 2023 to breast cancer a year ago. There were certain people she didn't want around to protect her peace, and I honored that, even when everyone else was upset. I mean, look, I get it. I completely get why Tracy may or may not have wanted Tamar around at that time or wanted to tell her at that particular point. However, I do understand Tamar is still feeling a way about it. Like, she can feel a way about it and still, I mean, should she be mad at the sisters because of that? No, she's just probably just adding another thing to be mad at them about. Just saying. All right, we have another Ashley backstage that we're going to bring up next. Ashley versus Storm, I think it says. Yeah. Ashley, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, King.
Are you on? Do you have headphones on? Uh-oh. Now I can't hear you at all.
Okay, I can't.
Oh, that's better.
Okay, there you go.
What's
Okay,
going on?
so I just have a few things to say. First of all, I love you. Second of all, I'm so glad that everybody is seeing what I was saying last week about Tawanda, because see what I'm saying? All of this was what I was saying last week, Kempire, because Tawanda cannot be trusted. Now, my little high points that I got to say was, if I was a mother, I would have, as a mother, if I was passing, I would have absolutely did what Tracy did, meaning I would have left my husband some money, because he deserves it. That's my husband. And he's also going to get the, life insurance, and he's also going to get Social Security, because he was married to her over 10 years. So it's not that she did not leave him anything, but knowing how their family is set up, I would have absolutely put my son in charge of my estate. Why? Because my sisters would not fight him as much. It would have been a whole mess if Kevin Sr. was in charge of her estate.
We wouldn't have the show.
And I think Tracy knew that.
We wouldn't have the show.
What'd you say?
We wouldn't have the show.
Exactly. They wouldn't have anything to talk about. And so, to me, I don't like that. I don't like the way that they're trying to make it seem like he's this horrible person. Yeah, he cheated, but Tracy even said while he, had his affair, she said she had, some things too. She did some things too.
She got her get back.
So, right. Yeah, marriages go through things, and no marriage is perfect, and they stuck by each other, and that's what mattered. So you cannot judge this man for being upset. And as far as the funeral goes, they had a celebration or a memorial for her as well. The issue came in because he wanted their biker club to come. And the family did not want them there. And so they had two separate services, and that was crazy. Tracy loved those people. She was with them all the time. They were on the show with her. I don't know if a lot of people remember, but back when Braxton Family Values was on, she brought like a couple of people. They were around. You saw that they were in a biker club.
Yeah.
So she cared about those people, and there was nothing wrong for him wanting to memorialize her. She did not want to be looked down on, is what the lawyer said.
Yeah.
So she wanted to be cremated. He did that. I don't think anything was wrong with it.
They had her urn at the celebration that he did.
Yes. Yeah, he was holding it. Kevin Jr. was holding it. So I just don't see what was so wrong about that. They want to keep everything so private, as if they were just the best family and the best sisters. And they know, like, stop it. They are telling so many lies. Kempire, come on.
I mean,
they are telling so many lies. I couldn't even watch this episode hardly.
Yeah, it was hard.
Because Tawanda lied so hard. I was just like, oh my God. It was a mess. And then as far as Trina, she has gotten so mean since she's gotten with Vaughn. It's like Vaughn gave her a backbone.
You're right.
It's like he gave her a backbone, because he is like a shot of Everclear. He is just real strong. He comes home real strong. And now she has started to just be mean. Her and Tawanda are like the new freaking frat, like Portia and Phaedra. It's so unauthentic. I can't take it. But, hey, to each his own. I'm the baby. I'm the only child. But as far as who I was raised with, my cousins are all older than me, and we were raised together as siblings. I'm the baby of them, and everybody calls me. So it's not that she's the baby. It's just Tamar.
Yeah, I agree.
And I pray that she gets the help that she needs. But
yeah, especially right now.
Right. She going through it with that man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
Care. Bye. I love it when you guys call in, because you really do give a different perspective and your own life experience, which teaches me a lot. I learn a lot from you guys, especially when you call in or when you share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. So The replay crew, be sure to continue this conversation and let us know what you thought of the latest episode of the Braxtons. All right. Again, thank you to everyone that sent in super chats, Venmos, Cash Apps, or if you just sent a like. All of that is greatly appreciated. So be sure to do that if you're watching the replay of this. Hold on. Claudia says that I think the sisters are plotting with Kevin Jr. for me, Kevin Jr. seems challenged mentally, and I think that putting Kevin Jr. on TV is a setup. The sisters are going to say that Kevin Jr. is not competent. Oh my gosh, like you Claudia, you really went into a whole other space. I mean, I hope that's not the situation, but like clutch my pearls. Like I hope that's not the right. Soulfly says, "Oh my, that's an interesting take," but it's not unbelievable. But I hope not. I do believe that they love him. I don't think that they don't love him. But I also think because he does control the rights to her image and likeness and things like that, it's interesting timing to be like, oh, Scratchy, you know, I love you. It's interesting. And again, some of the footage of them sharing Tracy in her last days, they're only able to share that on this brand new show because he signed off on it, based on my understanding of what he's in charge of. Okay. Right. Deborah says that you have some of the best callers, Kempire, so intelligent. I agree. And so just transparent and willing to share their stories. And I appreciate that, guys. Feel free to share those stories and conversations in the comment section. Thank you again to our King's Guards for holding us down in the live chat and in the comment section. And thank you to everyone watching on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I'm going to go relax a little bit and then maybe finally watch that new Hulu show. What was it? I forgot what it's called. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, or something like that. It's on Hulu. I'm sure by now you've seen it. And if it's good, I'll talk about it. And I have to watch the screener for Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Stay tuned. Exactly. And happy heavenly birthday to Tracy. As Mr. Melon Magic says, rest easy, Tracy. We love you. Thank you. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I will see you all in the next one.
You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I know. I just want you to know. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing, I know. I just want you to know. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. You both got my best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. You both got my best life.